Hi folks, I hope everyone is doing alright. As you can see, I'm back and doing the Newswatch videos. So first, let me start. This video is not monetized, okay? So there is absolutely no monetary objective behind this video, like in all of my videos, but let's carry on. This is about a link. It's about the news that I have watched in other videos, and for transparency's sake, I'm going to read the Politico news media reporting on this because it's easily accessible. Any of you can simply go online and watch it, and because it's in English, so everyone can read it. But suffice to say that I saw this from different perspectives in other videos, in other media outlets, but I chose this one specifically for that reason. There will be a link to this news piece in the end of this video. I ask you, please go directly to the source, go watch their contents, okay? Have a bit of respect for the creator of this report, okay, and understand that I'm not making any money with this. I'm just talking about this article because if you remember, I told you before that when it comes to dealing with X and other American platforms, the only attitude of the EU will be to fine them or even ban them from the European market if they do not follow our regulations. So there's absolutely nothing more here. It's simply telling them, well, you either follow our rules and regulations to work in our markets, or you get fined or even expelled and stopped from making business here. And as you can see, threats, tariffs for Mr. Putin, yes, for Mr. Putin, but it's Trump. But from Mr. Trump, that is doing Putin's bidding, they have no leverage here. Without further ado, let's read the article. I'll read it with you, okay? Now, this is in Politico, as you can see. X access European Commission's ad account after 120 million euros EU fine. Nikita Bier, ex-head of product, accused the EU executive of trying to amplify its own social media post about the fine on X by trying to take advantage of an exploit in our ad composer. Here is the edit. This is December the 7th. The author is BJR Smith Maya. The European Union has lost access to its control panel for buying and tracking ads on Elon Musk's X after fining the social media platform 120 million euros for violating EU transparency rules. Your ad account has been terminated, X's head of product Nikita Bier wrote on the platform early Sunday. Bier accused the EU executive of trying to amplify its own social media post about the fine on X, trying to take advantage of an exploit in our ad composer to post a link that deceives users into thinking it's a video and to artificially increase its reach. The Commission fined X on Thursday for breaching the EU's rules under the Digital Services Act, DSA, which aims to limit the spread of illegal content. The breaches include a lack of transparency around X advertising library and the company's decision to change its trademark blue checkmark from a means of verification to a deceptive paid feature. The irony of your announcement, Bier said, X believes everyone should have an equal voice on our platform. However, it seems that you believe that the rules should not apply to your account. Politico has reached out to the European Commission for comment. Trump administration has criticized the DSA and the Digital Markets Act which prevent large online platforms such as Google, Amazon, and Meta from overextending their online empires. The White House has accused the rules of discriminating against US companies, and the fine will likely amplify transatlantic trade unions tensions. US Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick has already threatened to keep 50% tariffs on European exports of steel and aluminium unless the EU loosens its digital rules. US Vice President J.D. Vance blasted Brussels' action, describing the fine as a response for not engaging in censorship, a notion the Commission has dismissed. And this is the answer by the EU. The DSA is having not to do with censorship, said the EU Steksa Henna Virkunen told reporters on Thursday. This decision is about the transparency of X. Now, let's go back to me, little old me. This, if you don't understand what is happening, let me explain to you what is happening. The EU is giving. There is an old expression in Portugal and in South Europe in general, but it's something like that. Something like this. I'm going to tell you. Estou-lhe a dar lenha para se queimar. Translating. They are giving him firewood, for him to burn himself. This is what the EU is doing. Because if you look into what the EU did, they absolutely followed the rules of the DSA that X knew, that X fully knew it was like this, and yet they decided to break the law. They broke the law, they got fined. And I'm very certain that they are going to do it again, and they are going to continue to be fined. And the tensions are going to continue to amount. And Mr. Vance and Mr. Lutnick, the only thing I have to tell you is that you can increase your tariffs away. Increase the tariffs to 500% if you want to. Because the only thing that will happen is that we will sell elsewhere. We will sell to Canada, to Mexico, to South America, to China. China they're looking forward to getting our goods. They're waiting in line behind you. And then you are going to also to tell me how are you going to build your little weapons, how are you going to fund your economy, and what will you do if European investors simply remove their money from your economy? What are your big companies going to do? Because you forget something, okay? You forget a lot of these European investors, they own a piece of your economy. A pretty large piece. And if the United Kingdom starts to play ball with us, we will own all of your pie. Us and China. And if you think the European Union won't simply sell off all that it has and give it to the Chinese in exchange for economic advantage, you are sadly wrong. You are really sadly wrong, and you are living in a dream world. Because since the first day that you started to do what you have been doing with the tariffs, with this shit comedy in Ukraine, with all that you have been doing, undermining the European governments and undermining the EU, trying to hurt us as much as you can, calling us nasty, calling us a bad idea, doing all of that shit, you have become an enemy. And if you think Europeans are arrogant and stupid sometimes, I know we are, I'm also one of them. Okay, when we are more or less feeling, let's say, not hating you, you can't imagine what we are able to do when we hate someone. You can't imagine what it is to walk in a European city and being completely ignored. This is what's going to happen to each and every American. And this is what is going to happen to each and every American company. Do you think it's very hard to not go to McDonald's, to not go to KFC, I don't know, to not buy your shit? Do you think that is very hard? Let me tell you this in a way that you can understand. There are only two things that still don't have a viable option in Europe in terms of media. That is YouTube and let's call it the Google and Gmail and all of that shit. That is the only thing that doesn't have a valid option. And how long do you think that we won't use, for example, some Chinese option or to create options around here and simply slowly start ditching your media companies? Do you think that is very hard? If you think that is very hard, then you are sadly mistaken. You are very sadly mistaken. And as for X in my view should have been banned from Europe a long time ago, because it's a cesspool of hatred, it's a cesspool of dumb people, it's a cesspool of all the things that we don't need in our lives. It's not a bastion of truth, it's a bastion of lies. And I find it hilarious for X to cancel an ad account, in this case of the EU, from receiving revenues from ads. I think it's very risible that you cancel the EU's account in X in this matter when you allow people, for example, like Mr. Tate, that openly promotes violence over women, that endorses things like rape, that endorses crime, and not just him, all those right-wing groups spreading AI-generated videos, spreading lies, spreading misinformation, and everyone knows it. Well, the only thing I have to say about this news article is that I hope that you, next time, instead of finding X in 120 million, they will find him in 1 billion euros. And the third time is a charm. At the third time, ban them. Because, my friend, like you Americans like to say, around here it's our way or the highway. Get banned. Well, folks, thank you very much for listening to this Newswatch episode. I hope you all stay safe. I hope you have a wonderful week. And I hope to catch you all in the next one. Bye. And, oops, sorry, still here. Bye.